All praise is due to the Most High, family. We back with another Acres Anime Review. I just finished watching episode 3 of season 2. Season 2, episode 3. My Hero Vigilantes. And I really enjoyed this episode, family. We got a lot of... I wasn't necessarily the biggest like Tsukauchi fan. Tsukauchi. You know, like, but this episode was kind of fun. But more than he was a lot of this episode, but more than him, I enjoyed like seeing All Might in this episode, and I enjoyed seeing Koichi's like quirk development here. But so anyway, family. This is really like, we really are seeing Tsukauchi's like his response to our Osaka investigation, right? Clearly he was injured. Clearly the villain got away. And so, you know, he's frustrated, but we got to get to work, right? And so first things first, and this was like, you know, I just for some reason like admired seeing Tsukauchi and All Might like be best friends for a little bit, you know, because like for me, I'm a big All Might fan. Like, who isn't, for real? But as an All Might fan, he even mentioned in this episode like that he's a symbol of peace, right? And we all understand that. But they mentioned in this episode what that means is All Might has to be this like the symbol of stoicism also. Not necessarily stoicism, but like he can't show any vulnerabilities. He can't show any personal relationships. He can't show any like propensities, you know, any predictable habits, right? He can't leave any openings at all. And so and he's constantly working. Like, this episode opened up, he's literally in and out of like the islands for like literally 2 minutes, and it's probably like that for him all day. And then he finally gets a moment, or is forced to have a moment. I don't know what level of quirk deterioration All Might is experiencing at this point, right? But he finally gets to sit down. And he's like, man, I can have a real conversation finally. Like, ooh, Tsukauchi, it's my favorite part of the day, right? That was funny. And then they got each other gifts. All Might was traveling doing hero work, right? Tsukauchi was in Osaka, so they got each other gifts. That was cool. They homies, right? But then All Might's gift created like a lot of comedy throughout the episode, because it was aromatic bath salts, right? It was intended for Tsukauchi's sister Makoto, but he didn't like how she's been involved with Pop Step and and Koichi, and he's wanting to reach Pop Step, and Makoto's not allowing him to do that. She's protecting her in this instance. Makoto's protecting Pop Step, right? So this frustrates Tsukauchi, and so he actually takes back the gift intended for Makoto, and then he uses it himself. And here's the comedy throughout the episode, is that now he smells like roses. He smells very nice, and he's around all these men and heroes and criminals, right? Like very, very serious environments, very high stress environments. And he's smelling, you know, like a bouquet of roses. And everybody smells it, right? And then, well, the funniest part of those for me though was when he's meeting All Might again, and he's about to take off his hat and get comfortable, but then he smells the bath salts, and he was about to lie to All Might. He said he was about to say, I gave Makoto the bath salts, and then he taking off the hat, smells himself, and he's like, All Might, let me not lie, I didn't give it to her. And he explains his frustration with her. And All Might is like, he's so wise too. On top of being like the symbol of peace, he's so wise and insightful too, because Tsukauchi's frustrated that Makoto is abusing him as a police officer. And he mentions, well, I'm not gonna tell her that this gift is from All Might. I don't want her thinking she has an in to All Might, right? And he feels that she's taking advantage of the fact that he is a police officer. She told him in their like little debate / argument, like, I'm not doing anything illegal. I'm not doing anything wrong. And if it goes south, I'm coming to you. And he's like, well, yeah, she knows I'm gonna handle it. So of course she's not worried, but I am. And All Might says, well, maybe she's not depending on the fact that you're a police officer. You're just her big brother. Right? And I was like, dang, All Might, he's spitting, right? Okay, now we are, throughout the episode though, we're working on this investigation, we're brainstorming, we're trying to catch this villain, right? And we're trying to find a lead. And so another funny episode, because while we're investigating, we meet with these like grasshopper brothers again. And guys, he's like a extra large praying mantis. And so he's talking about his everyday struggles, using the bathroom, living in a home, this, that, and the third, and how the institutions are not accommodating him properly. And so he wants to be basically a spokesperson and a face of like discrimination, which was funny. But so theory time, family, because this villain showed super speed quirks. Now, while we're breaking it down though, it's not just that he's moving super fast. His cognitive ability is also, he's able to perceive as fast as he's moving, right? Like compared to Ida, sometimes he's moving faster than, like you miss, right? Because your perception hasn't changed. You're just moving extra fast and you're trying to adjust. Not the case with this villain. And so we basically identify, or one of the investigators brainstorming with Tsukauchi, he says, oh yes, this has been described as like seeing, like experiencing time slow down. Tsukauchi asks, who described it like that? It's O'Clock, this hero O'Clock. And so you might think it was O'Clock because the quirk is like the same, or right, but the age doesn't line up. This O'Clock is much older and should be retired and is probably in hiding, right? And so Tsukauchi thinks this is either O'Clock's student or a blood relative. But we see O'Clock training at the end of the episode, and he's speaking to, what villain do we know that be speaking through monitors and screens and laptops and stuff and phones? All for One, family. Here's my theory, and I don't know. I didn't read this far into the manga. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm right. Knuckle Duster is quirkless. I think he had his quirk stolen by All for One, which made him Knuckle Duster. So I think Knuckle Duster was O'Clock, and now All for One gave O'Clock's quirk to this guy, and clearly he looks up to O'Clock because he had like a poster of him. He's trying to, that's his standard that he's aiming for. So I don't know, family, but that was fun. Oh, and Koichi's quirk development, nah, that's hard. That's hard. Koichi's going hard with the quirk, with the new quirk abilities. All praise is due to the Most High, family. Peace and love.